Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Kakeiso here with TGN.TV. This is the World of Warcraft Shaman show on TGN. If you like the video, subscribe to the show with the link below. In this video, guys, I'm going over the 4.3 patch changes for Shamans. I realize these changes are not final and can be changed, although there are enough changes here to produce an informative video for you guys. Alright, so I'm starting off with the general changes for Shamans. Flame Tongue weapon no longer increases spell damage, and now increases all non-physical damage done by the wielder by 5%. This means enhancement won't have as big of a benefit with Flame Tongue as it did before, although Instant, Lightning Bolt, Chain Lightning, and Lava Burst will still gain this increase. Wind Shear's base cooldown has been adjusted to 15 seconds, up from 6 seconds. The only thing I can see being good out of this is for any other spellcaster against the Shaman in PvP has a larger casting period before being Wind Sheared. Lightning Bolt has a new spell effect. Here's a short clip of me on the PTR testing out the new spell effect, and I must say I'm pretty impressed. And it looks a lot more vibrant, fancier, and has that energetic feeling to it, making it look like it's a real piece of fucking lightning. Alright, so starting off with the Elemental tree. Call of Flame no longer causes Fire Nova to extend the duration of Flame Shock. Now it will only increase the damage of Fire Totems and Lava Burst. You know, I find this kind of lame because I liked having my Flame Shock longer on the target, just to let my rotation sail longer throughout the fight. Although, I mean, I can live through it, whatever. Earthquake damage has been increased by 75%. This is also another great change, not just because it's a buff, it's also a needed buff. I haven't bothered to use Earthquake as much because, I mean, the mana cost doesn't really live up to the damage output, whereas Flame Shock, Fire Nova, and Chain Lightning can do much better when put together. Elemental Fury now removes the cooldown from Chain Lightning. Again, another buff. Is it really needed? In my opinion, probably not. Am I going to complain about it? Fuck no. I mean, it's just means more AoE damage at a faster pace, which is fine with me. Reverberation now reduces the cooldown of Wind Shear by 5 to 10 seconds, up from 0.5 to 1 second. Being a hardcore theory crafter with days and days of critical thinking, it's come to my attention with speccing into this talent fully will reduce Wind Shear to a 5-second cooldown. Thus meaning, Wind Shear will have a 1-second lower cooldown than it does in 4.2. But only for LA Shamans. I mean, this seems like PvP change that Blues on the forums have been talking about. However, this doesn't really limit just to the LA Shamans like I just probably said. It also, enhancements and Resto Shamans can spec into Reverberation because it is close to the top of the tree. However, it's their choice. We'll see how it comes out in 4.3, whether or not it's going to play into a PvE role as much as it would in a PvP role. Who knows? It really has to play out. Alright, moving on to enhancement. Enhancement is kind of a big one. Alright, so improved Lava Lash now causes Lava Lash to spread a Flame Shock debuff from the target to up to 4 nearby targets. This excludes crowd control targets and those who already have Flame Shock debuff from the Shaman. This change made me pretty hard, I must say. Enhancement Shamans had some AoE, but in 4.3 they're going to have amazing AoE considering they factored out the CC and already debuffed targets. So I mean, more spreading, right? On top of this, improved Lava Lash no longer increases base Lava Lash damage by 15/30%. This increase has been rolled into the base Lava Lash skill. So Lava Lash is getting a damage increase. I'm sure the Lava Lash glyph is still there to increase it more if you have Flame Tongue weapon on in your offhand. That, and you got your AoE, so it's looking pretty just-tastic. Mental Quickness has been redesigned. Instead of granting the Shaman spell power, Mental Quickness now causes enhancement Shaman spells to behave as though the Shaman has spell power equal to 55% of attack power. Enhancement Shaman spells no longer benefit from spell power from other sources, meaning Mental Quickness, which is the enhancement passive part of the tree, got a 5% buff from 50 to 55%. However, it only benefits from AP sourced buffs now. Not a big deal in my books. I mean, hey, 5% more AP converted into spell power is always nice. Last in enhancement is Maelstrom weapon, can now also proc from fully absorbed melee attacks. I find this to be the most interesting for enhancement. I mean, a good example for this that I can think of is PvP. Whether a priest bubble is up, ice barrier, anti-magic shell, etc. are up on an enemy you're attacking, your attacks still count as procs even though they may not deal damage. I'm not too sure if this works on a Pally's Divine Shield as it says immune instead of absorb, but I'm going to go with no because it is on a 5-minute cooldown and I don't think that Blizzard would really allow this onto it. Alright, so the last spec to go over is Restoration. Ancestral healing now also causes the Shaman's heal to increase the target's maximum health by 5 to 10% of the amount healed, up to a maximum of 10% of the target's maximum health for 15 seconds. This effect is not stacked if multiple Restoration Shamans are present and does not apply to heals from procs. So essentially, your direct healing spells are only benefited by this, which is no problem at all, considering the majority of the healing spells for Shamans are direct heals. Not to mention, this doesn't replace the old ancestral healing from 4.2 that reduces target's damage taken by 10% whenever you crit, making this change a pretty fucking awesome one. Also in Restoration, Riptide's periodic healing coefficient has been increased by 50%. The initial direct heal is unchanged. This is pretty much self-explanatory, guys. The periodic heal of Riptide is being increased. Woo! So I mean, overall, the Shamis of patch 4.2 should be fairly happy for patch 4.3. Elemental gets more AoE damage as well as a new lightning bolt spell effect to look at constantly. Enhancement gets more AoE damage as well. I mean, come on, Fire Nova off of 5 fucking targets. Whatever. Also not benefiting from spell power, but at least Flame Tongue will still increase magic done by like 5%, and Resto, only 2 changes that we know of so far, yet still pretty fucking awesome. I mean, being able to increase health and reduce damage at the same time is pretty wicked, as well as Riptide's direct healing being increased is a nice bonus too. That's it for the changes in Shamans for patch 4.3, guys. If you guys have a favorite Shaman spec or a favorite change coming in 4.3, let me know in the comments below. It's good to know what other people like, other than yourself sometimes. Also, if I have made a mistake with the information, please let me know, as I will do my best to change it. Thank you guys for sticking around and watching the video. Don't forget to like, favorite, and comment. As well, you can check out my channel with the link below. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace.